Coming up in Surabaya, Indonesia, Tzu Chi once again teamed up with IBS Tower to hold a free clinic in Sooko. Tzu Chi Neihu grants help spread the message of conservation to visiting guests from China and Turkey. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Dennis Wu. Thank you for joining us. Kicking off today's program in Indonesia, Tzu Chi Surabaya Liaison Office and the IBS Tower Company have again teamed up to hold a free clinic on behalf of residents in Sooko. To ensure the success of the free clinic, 49 medical volunteers, including Tima doctors and local medical professionals, worked as one to provide much-needed medical and dental services.
In Sooko of Surabaya, residents have difficulty seeking timely medical assistance due to lack of medical resources. Responding to their needs, Tzu Chi Surabaya Liaison Office has joined hands with the IBS Tower Company to hold a free clinic, which also provides dental services.
Many people have diabetes and cholesterol-related problems. I hope they can hold a free clinic every 3 months. The volunteers do their best to meet our needs. I'm very grateful for them.
Among the 264 residents who came to seek medical attention, most of them are seniors with diabetes or high blood pressure. 49 medical professionals, including both Tima and local doctors, are providing their services.
We get a lot of support here, especially from local doctors. They work with those of us who have come from Jakarta and Surabaya.
We treat the residents like our parents, with love and care. This kind of event is needed and it inspires people's love and empathy.
Despite the sudden rain, those serving at the free clinic continue their work. With love and passion, these medical volunteers have inspired the younger generation to extend their assistance to the needy and elderly.
After Typhoon Melo struck the Philippines in December last year, Tzu Chi volunteers have been carrying out relief work in the affected provinces of northern Samar and Oriental Mindoro. During one visit to a local family, they came across a 3-year-old boy who needed an urgent surgery to treat his infected artificial rectum. The volunteers immediately took the boy's family to Manila so the boy could have the surgery he needed.
This red wound in the shape of a rose is the colostomy for young Romshek because he was born with Hirschsprung's disease and imperforate anus. Now his colostomy is infected and is causing him pain.
My son was born with all these diseases. As his mom, my heart aches as I can't help him. Now he's 3 years old and is in pain because of his problems. His father and I feel helpless and worried.
The Tevez family lives in Oriental Mindoro province, but their home was destroyed by Typhoon Melo. Unable to afford the huge medical fee for their son's diseases, the Tevez turns to Tzu Chi for help.
Our lives became difficult after Typhoon Melo, but thanks to the help from Tzu Chi Foundation, my son can have a surgery now.
Tzu Chi volunteers have been keeping them company from their home all the way to the hospital in Manila. Doctors performed a surgery to cure Romjek of his imperforate anus, so he can live a better life.
We do the surgery.
After we help him with this surgery, he will be able to have confidence again. He will be able to play with his friends, and he won't feel shy anymore.
The doctor said that Romjek will need 2 more surgeries in the following 6 to 8 months. And Tzu Chi volunteers will continue to support them until he is fully recovered.
Returning to Taiwan, doctors and nurses of Tzu Chi hospitals don't just aim to help treat their patients, but also to console their spirit in order to completely alleviate their suffering. We now demonstrate what that means exactly with the story of the #1 patient of Dr. Lin Junlong, the CEO of Tzu Chi Medical Mission. He would go to different hospitals and see different doctors all the time. Perhaps for the same problem, he would see 3 doctors and get 3 different prescriptions for the same problem.
A septuagenarian, Mr. Tsu's favorite pastime used to be visiting hospitals. However, not one hospital in Taipei could put him at ease. It wasn't until 16 years ago when his son brought him to the Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital and he saw the then superintendent, Dr. Lin Junlong, that changed everything.
Whenever I see him, I feel right as rain. It's as if I found a safe harbor.
One thing has remained the same for the past 16 years.
I've always been the first in line. I'm always seen first by Dr. Lin. I tell him that if I don't come regularly, I just feel unwell. I can't say what it is exactly, but once I see him, I feel fine.
An old Taiwanese adage says, a karmic connection with a doctor is the blessing of the patient.
However, this is more than just a karmic connection to Mr. Tsu's family.
A cold February day, and I've never seen other doctors do this. Dr. Lin warmed the stethoscope up with his hand first before placing it on my father.
Always concerned about patients' well-being is how good doctors bond with their patients. In the aftermath of the Bali water park explosion, the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital immediately put together a burn unit, which is supported by staff from other Tzu Chi hospitals. Together, they watched over the burn victims 24/7. During surgery, doctors cooled themselves down with ice packs instead of AC, so patients can be protected from hypothermia. Mr. Xu almost had to have his feet amputated due to diabetes. Now that he is discharged, his doctors still come to check on him and help clean up his home. Grandpa Ah Ji's spine was once misaligned by 100 degrees due to ankylosing spondylitis. Now that he can sit upright again, he has published a biography to thank his doctors and nurse. This 6-year-old boy finally completed 3 years of chemotherapy. To celebrate, his caretakers prepared a special graduation ceremony for him. Not only do Tzu Chi's doctors cure illness, they also heal hearts.
The hospital is more spacious, unlike others, which feels more comfortable.
The
openness helps you relax. You don't feel closed off here.
Tzu Chi's medical staff always keep their patients in mind at all times.
When I went to check on his father, he was already sound asleep, and his mother was keeping watch. I told her there was no need to disturb him. The mother then said to the son, I hope you will become a doctor like him.
As love bonds patients and doctors together, a stethoscope is no longer just a cold piece of equipment.
I believe I can say this. Without the care of Dr. Lin, I believe my father would have long passed on. Of that, I have no doubt. I firmly believe this. In October of 2015, with the help of local officials, the Tzu Chi Foundation held several aid distributions in Turkey's Sultan Gazi to help the Syrian refugees sheltered there. Recently, the city's mayor and an official from the Department of Education made a visit to Taiwan to learn more about the Buddhist charity by stopping by Tzu Chi Neihu grounds. Another group of volunteers from Changzhou in China's Jiangsu province also recently visited the grounds to learn more about Tzu Chi's recycling mission. They hope to take this valuable experience back home and apply what they have learned.
26 volunteers from Jiangsu's Changzhou made a visit to the Tzu Chi recycling station in Neihu, eager to learn about the center's operation.
When they prepare the papers for recycling, they will separate out all the parts that have text printed on them. That way, there's no need for de-inking later. This is just one small thing we can do to lessen the pollution here on Earth.
These visitors are a little surprised to see these elderly volunteers so committed and focused on sorting the paper recyclables.
We're so impressed seeing how they deal with the paper recyclables here at the station in Neihu. They're so careful trimming the corners and edges off of all the paper. We'll take this practice back to Changzhou. The first thing we'll do is promote the message of conservation so more people may join our ranks.
This elderly volunteer was delighted to hear that one of the visitors knew of his hometown. Also in Neihu, representatives from Sultan Gazi, Turkey, came to learn firsthand about Tzu Chi in Taiwan. The mayor and an official from the Department of Education were especially impressed with the process of turning recycled plastic bottles into blankets.
We want to show them how Tzu Chi carries out its environmental mission and how we go about protecting the planet. They've really helped us a lot in the past in Turkey, so we really hope they will continue to support us in the future.
After their survey in Taiwan, these international Tzu Chi volunteers will carry their experience in their hearts and return to their home countries even more committed to spreading love to all corners of the world.
We now have a series of reports related to the terrible earthquake that occurred in southern Taiwan right before the eve of Chinese New Year. The wife of许文儒, Cao Weiling, was the sole survivor of her family of 8 when the Weiguan building in Tainan collapsed during the tremor. Having lost her beloved husband and son, the poor woman still mustered enough strength and came out of the ICU to host their funerals on Tuesday. These photos document the great time Mr. and Mrs. Xu had with their colleagues in the office. Though the Chinese New Year holiday is over, Mrs. Xu's desk remains vacant. This is because she is still recovering in the ICU. When the Weiguan building in Tainan toppled over, she was the only survivor in her family of 8.
She lay there in the debris for some 50 hours, while her loved ones died off one after another around her.
What's the most important is that she has come out to say that she wants to host her husband and child's funerals.
Kept alive by her strong will, Mrs. Xu can now only see her family through photographs. As her husband and son's remains were cremated on Tuesday for tree burial, some 200 people from her office came to bid farewell as well.
I want to say to her husband to go in peace. When his wife is transferred to normal ward and can return to work, we'll be there to care for her.
By Mrs. Xu's side are also Tzu Chi volunteers who are doing their best to support the victims.
When the coffin was about to be cremated, she was very emotional. We were by her side throughout the whole thing.
Offering a shoulder to cry on in silence, the volunteers will continue to serve their communities and comfort broken hearts. The February 6th earthquake has led to severe devastation across southern Taiwan. To help students better prepare for future disasters, classes on disaster safety were held at Tzu Chi Senior High School, affiliated with Tzu Chi University in Hualien. In addition, the teachers and students have also been offering their prayers every day for those who have been affected by the tragedy.
Singing love and care for all to pray for a world free of disasters, students at Tzu Chi Senior High School pray every day at noon on behalf of those affected by the February 6th earthquake.
Although I was not able to go to the disaster areas, I wish them well and hope they'll recover soon.
I hope the people in the disaster areas are all safe and hope that everything gets better soon.
The school also provides the students lessons on disaster prevention. While some students' families went to volunteer in the disaster areas, other students' homes are in Tainan. Therefore, this disaster has led many to cherish life even more.
不知道是明天先到还是无常先到。
We do not know when hardship will strike, so we should cherish all those around us and complain less. We only live once. Whether our lives are short or long, we should cherish it.
Watching footage of the disaster site, the students also witness how people extend their assistance with compassion there. In addition to heightening their vigilance, the students have also learned to cultivate empathy and gratitude.
Immediately after the February 6th earthquake, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital's traditional Chinese medicine doctors traveled to Tainan to offer their service. In addition, the staff members and volunteers at the hospital have also been offering their prayers for the victims. On Tuesday, the hospital's superintendent, Dr. Gao Ruihe, appealed to the entire hospital to make donations which will be used to help the victims. In the aftermath of the Tainan earthquake, Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital not only dispatched some staff members to serve in Tainan, its superintendent also leads everyone to pray for those affected.
大家有钱出钱，有力出力。
Everyone is doing his or her share to alleviate the suffering of the affected residents so they may rebuild their homes. In doing so, the residents in disaster areas can soon return to their normal life.
能够恢复他平日的生活。
Members of the public also join the volunteers and make donations.
We're just contributing a bit, that is all. It carries our thoughts for them.
By canvassing for donations, the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital is gathering the collective strength of the public to help the affected residents get through the tough times ahead. To help those affected by the quake whose epicenter lies in Kaohsiung, Tzu Chi volunteers all over the world have mobilized, including those in the United States. In Texas, Tzu Chi volunteers from the Texas and Dallas offices each help raise funds to lend a helping hand. Let's take a look. On the plaza outside the supermarket, people are performing a lion dance. On the other side of the plaza, there are Tzu Chi volunteers.
Hello, Happy Chinese New Year, Amitofo.
Volunteers from Tzu Chi, Texas are raising funds on the street for the earthquake victims in southern Taiwan. People are very supportive of them. Thank you. 50 volunteers from Tzu Chi Dallas chapter decided to split up and take 7 separate routes to collect donations from the passers-by.
May your endeavor be fruitful. This donation is like a charm that will attract more donations.
谢谢，谢谢你们，祝你们新年快乐，阖家平安。还有吗？
People of all races, religions, and ages all make donations to support quake victims in Taiwan. Among them is a toddler who, with the help from his family, makes his first donation in his life. While many people enjoy lavish meals with their families and loved ones during the Chinese New Year, there are some who insist on keeping to a vegetarian diet. A student at the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru Kindergarten in Malaysia, Chua San Yuan began to refrain from eating meat after participating in a Passport to Vegetarian Land campaign held at his school. As he has persevered with his vegetarian diet, his family was moved to also follow suit. I made a funny book so everyone can be happy.
Besides being humorous, Chua Shan-yuan is also kind-hearted. Cherishing the lives of animals, he stopped eating meat when he began attending the Tzu Chi Johor Bahru kindergarten.
I cooked meat when he was 4, and he complained, asking why we were eating meat. He made me feel that he's a very kind-hearted child.
就会讲这么吃肉怎么什么，他就会有这样子的反应，给我很直接的感觉，就是这个孩子他是一个很有爱的孩子。
In the beginning, Shan Yuan's family had a hard time embracing vegetarianism.
原来说二哥跟住一起去素食餐馆，他会很不开心。这样你要怎么样让你二哥很开心？
给他吃多一点东西哦。二哥他爱吃肉嘛，他是肉食者，那每次也是一直过。
His brother likes to eat meat, so he also complained about eating vegetarian food on the 1st and 15th of every month. After a while, he got used to it and gradually accepted the idea. His grandmother was also concerned about their health. However, since Shan Yuan insisted on not eating meat, his grandmother could not do anything about it, so she just let him embrace vegetarianism. In addition, they all turned out healthy and strong, so the adults stopped opposing the idea.
After this initial adjustment period, the adults and children in the family began to reap the benefits of adopting a vegetarian diet.
50-60块的那个伙食费啦，然后现在的话，目前
We used to spend about 50 to 60 ringgits on food. Now we spend about 20 to 30 ringgits on food each week since we're eating less meat.
然后就比较节省咯。
我们吃素。
We adapt a vegetarian diet, conserve trees, and recycle. So we are also saving electricity.
要省电。
Going meatless with compassion for animals, Shan Yuan is now also protecting the environment and saving up with his coin banks every day to carry out more good deeds.
For students, getting involved in extracurricular activities helps them develop many skills unobtainable inside the classroom. To enhance students' character education, the Junior High Division of Yongping High School in New Taipei City has invited Tzu Chi volunteers to organize 3 clubs, which help pass on the wisdom within Chinese calligraphy, sign language, and Jiansi aphorisms to students.
Students sit up straight to write properly with a brush at the Chinese Calligraphy Club.
就在这个角对下来这个地方。
At the Sign Language Club, students express the beauty of the lyrics of a song with their fingers. In addition, there is the Jingsi Aphorisms Club. These are all extracurricular activities organized by Tzu Chi volunteers for junior high students of Yongping High School.
要经得起考验，保住慧命，突破难关。
Overcoming any hurdle that lies before us leads to breakthroughs. I've said this phrase to my mother. I told her about this Jiansi aphorism when she faced a difficult challenge.
那时我就跟她讲这一句近似语。
我觉得，教育不是只有在课本上的一个知识的学习，更重要的。
Education is not only about learning from textbooks. It is more important for students to learn from role models. Joining in the clubs organized by Tzu Chi brothers and sisters, the students can enhance their character education.
I think
that Chinese and math lessons are easier to handle. However, dealing with people is a more complex issue. So I hope the students can learn at the clubs and perform better in interpersonal relationships.
The volunteers have complimented the school in planning these extracurricular activities, hoping that the children will not only excel academically, but also become contributing citizens.
To start the Year of Monkey right, members of the public in Keelung were invited to a prayer service hosted by the local Tzu Chi retreat. We join the event at the end of today's program. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.